Today, we are going to discuss about South Indian Bank. South Indian Bank is a small cap bank with a market turnover capital of 962.77 crores. So, we would be discussing about the financial fundamental aspect, technical aspect, and shareholding pattern, and the annual report. We will take few things from the annual report also, and then we will go to the weakness, opportunities, strength, all associated with the and other deals also, that the actions that is going on in the South Indian Bank in the previous week. We will discuss in detail about all these things. So first of all, let's go to the financial aspect, that is the fundamental part. And in the financial aspect, we would be looking at the net interest income of a bank. So we have to remember, what do you mean by net interest income? Net interest income is a difference between the interest accrued from its assets and the expenses associated with its liabilities. Always we have to remember that the number should be high in when it comes to the net interest income. So we here in the fundamental aspect, we would be looking at for the past 5 years. We would be comparing the variation in the values in the previous 5 years. So we would be taking from 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19. Okay, so in the net interest income, we can see that in 2015, the net interest income of the South Indian Bank was 2.40, and then it increased to 2.47, and subsequently it goes to 2.44, and now in 2019 it was in the rate of 2.51. So here we can see that the net interest income of the bank was increasing. So it's a positive sign for this bank. So now let's see about the second parameter, that is the total deposit. Always we have to remember that means the total deposit means the here the total deposit is always a liability for asset for us. It would always be for the customers. A deposit is always an asset, but for the bank's perspective, from the bank's aspect, we can see that it is always a liability. So still the total deposit should be always higher in number. So let's see about the numbers. In 2015, the number was 51,912.49, and subsequently the deposit rate was increased to 55,720 in 2016, and later to 66,117.49 in 17, and in 2018 it was increased to 72,029.59, and while in 2019 the deposit was increased to 80,420.12. So we can see that this is also positive indication for this bank that its total deposit has been increased. So we were able to see there that there was two positive signs for this bank. That is, one is the increase in net interest income, and the other is total deposit. And now we will come into the third parameter. The third parameter is the total advance. So always we have to remember that total advance is always a liability for the total advance is always total advance is always an asset for the bank. So means when we have to understand that when just like the total deposit and the net interest income, this number should also be high. Means if the number is high, then it's also a positive indication for this bank. So let's see about the values. So in the 2015, the value was 37,391.64. That is the total advance. That is the asset. It's an asset for the bank. Okay, we have to remember it. And in the 2016, this value gone to 41,085.75, and in 2017 it's 46,399.47, and in 2018 this value raised to 54,562.89, while in 2019 this further increased to 62,693.74. So it is also a positive sign for this bank. And now we'll see about the capital adequacy ratio. Always we have to see that the capital adequacy ratio should be higher. So it's if the number is higher in this area also, then it is also positive indication for this bank that this is a very good bank if the number is high. Okay, so let's see about the capital adequacy ratio. So we can see that the capital adequacy ratio was 13. It was in the year of 2015, the number was 12, and 16 for the 17 year also, the capital adequacy ratio was 12. Okay, 12%. So by 2018 and the 2019, and 2018 it increased to 13%, and in 2019 still remains the same, that is the 13%. In Indian market, a capital adequacy minimum capital adequacy ratio is always 9%. So in the other countries, in European countries, it has been lowered to 8%. So we can see that this bank has a capital adequacy ratio of 13%, where we can see that the capital adequacy ratio is very low in Yes Bank and Dhanalakshmi Bank, which is having a higher share price when compared to this bank. Okay, so it is also a positive sign for this bank. And now let's see about the gross NPA as well as the net NPA. So NPA means non-performing assets. So this means the bank has lended someone, and means they are not giving the bank returning the money to the bank. So means certain this kind of assets will be taken as a non-performing asset, because they are not the bank came to understand that they won't be receiving any form of income from that source, so it has been turned as a non-performing asset. We always have to remember that this NP, non-performing asset, should always be lower in number when it comes to the banking sector, because if the non-performing asset is higher, then it is a very bad indication for the bank. Okay, now let's see about the NPS of South Indian Bank. So regarding the NPA of South Indian Bank, let's see about the net NPA, that is 357.05 was the net NPA in the year of 2015, and while in 2016 it increased to 1185.26. We can see that the NPA has been increased here, and while when it comes to the 17, we can see that the NPA gradually decreased to 674.56, and it's a positive sign. Okay, in 2017, but the NPA was further raised to 1415.80 in the year of 18, and when it came to 2019, it was further raised to 2163.67. So when it comes to the gross, when it comes to the non-performing assets, it's seriously a negative indicator for this banking sector, because here the NPA has been increased, so it is a negative sign for this bank in this indicator in the non-performing assets aspect. So now let's see about the CASA. So CASA is nothing other than the current account as well as the saving account. Of course, the current account as well as the saving account for a bank should also be higher. Means compared to the previous year, the number should also increase, because if the number is increased, then it is also a positive indication. So now let's see about the CASA of this South Indian Bank. So by on March 31, 18, the CASA was around 17,141.74 crores, and this CASA was increased to 19,467.15 crores on the March 31, 2019. Then it is also a strong indicator that in the sector of CASA, when it comes to CASA, the bank has done something good. Okay, so now let's see about the retail as well as versus the wholesale aspect of the bank. The bank has been currently the bank is under a wholesale aspect. So what happens is that we can see that in the annual report, the bank this bank has what the bank is saying is that now it's moving into a retail sector, because we can see that those banks which are under the retail is earning more profit when compared to the wholesale. So most of the banks are moving into the retail sector. So this bank is also doing the same thing. We can see in the annual report of the South Indian Bank. And here we can see that here we can see that the price is moving. The bank is moving to the retail aspect. So now let's see about it's also a positive indication for this bank. So now let's see about the geographical. Geographical means the banking sector is divided into whether the urban area or the rural area. So we are knowing that our government is focusing mainly on the rural aspect. So this bank is also focusing mainly on the rural aspect. So it is also a positive indication that the bank is going to do well in the coming years. Now let's move on to the technical aspect. Okay, here we would be seeing about RSI. RSI is a strong indicator of overbought or oversold. So means whenever the value of RSI is below 25, then it is an indicator that it is in a overbought zone. When it comes into the range of 25 to 45, it's an indicator that it is in a bearish format. So here we can see that in South Indian Bank, the value is 33.23. Which is a strong indicator that it is in a bearish zone. And now let's see about the MSAD. In MSAD, it is completely related to the movement, the current trend of the share. Okay, so here what happens is that the value of MSAD in here is minus 0.25. We have to understand is that whenever the value is below 0, then it is an indicator that it is going into a bearish area, and whenever the value is above 0, then it is a bullish signal. So here we can see that a minus 0.25 is a strong indicator of bearish signal. And other than that, here we can see that in the chart of MSAD that the signal line and the MSAD line is in a close proximity. So as they are coming in close, whenever the MSAD line comes goes below the signal line, then it is an indicator that is going to be a bearish. But here we can see that it's coming in a close proximity with this MSAD signal line. So it is an indicator that it is going to be a strong bearish. So from the technical aspect, we are able to see that it is giving a strong indicator that is very bearish in the share of South Indian Bank. So in the coming days, we can see that the share could go down. But the current range, we were able to see that the share is coming to a consolidation between a range of 5.15 to 5.60. And so we have to see in the coming days what the price would be going. So from the technical aspect, we are able to understand that it is a RSI as well as a MSAD chart is giving a strong indicator that is going to be a bearish. Now let's see about the shareholding pattern. Okay, first of all, let's see about the FIS. In December 18, the FIS shareholding pattern shareholding was 25.73%, while it was further decreased to 24.13% in March 19, and while on June 19 it was 23.2, and in September 19 it was 22.88%. So we can say that the FIS shareholding was gradually reduced, and while the DAS it was 28.93 in December 18, and further it was increased to 30.41 in March 19, but it was gradually reduced to 27.81 in June 19, and September 19 it was further reduced to 25.93%. So we can see that the DIS shareholding also was reduced in this company. While let's see about the mutual fund. In mutual fund, December 18 it was 8.61% and 8.89% in March 19, and 4.67% it was reduced in a huge format in June 19, and it was but the stake was little bit increased, that is 4.89 to 4.89% in September 19, while the insurance company in December 18 and March 19 it was 3.45%, and in June 19 also it was 3.45%, while in September 19 it was gradually reduced to 3.22%. And now let's see about the various actions in South Indian Bank in the previous weeks. So we were able to see various block deals. The quantity of block deal in May 15 it was 6 lakh 1,380 quantity has been under a block deal, and the price range was 5.40 and the value was 0.32 crores. And while on in May 6 it was the block deal quantity was nearly around 5,60,000 and the price was here 5.50 and with a value of 0.28 crores. Here this was the block deal in the previous week. Now let's see about the various now let's summarize this share. Let's see about the thread in this South Indian Bank. So here the threat is that the RSI is indicating there is a price weakness. So we are able to see that both in the RSI as well as the MSID chart, we were able to see a strong bearish signal. And now let's see about the various weakness. That is the high interest payment compared to the earning, and mutual funds is decreasing their shareholdings. We have seen that FIS, DAS, mutual funds, insurance also has been decreasing their shareholding in this. And there is an insufficient use of shareholding funds. And the inefficient use of assets. We can see that the asset quality has been increased, but the thing is that they are not properly using the assets which they are getting. And there is a high volume as well as the but the share price is being decreasing day by day to a much lower price. Okay, now let's see about the various opportunity associated with this share. The first opportunity is that the company with the current TTM PE ratio is less than the 3 years, 5 years and 10 years coverage of price earning ratio. And we can see that the non-performing asset has been reduced. Even in the annual report also we were able to see that the company is planning to reduce their non-performing assets in the gradually they are planning to reduce the non-performing assets in the coming year. So it's also it's an indicator that in the coming years it would be a positive sign for this company. And there is also, we can see that the provisions has also been reduced, so the result was a little bit improved. And this is a stock with lower price earning ratio, so it's the opportunity. These are the opportunity associated with South Indian Bank. Now let's see about the strength of in South Indian Bank, that the rising net cash flow and the cash from the operating activity has been increased, and moreover the growth in net profit with increasing profit margin is also a strong is showing a strength in this share. And moreover, the increasing profit with every quarter for the past 3 quarters is also a good indication for this. We can see that the RSI and MSAD are all giving as a signal that it's going to be a strong bearish when it comes into the share of South Indian Bank. But I'm bullish on this share. The thing is that after doing a various research, means I compared this share with other banking sector shares, means who are under the same market turnover rate of this bank, that is the Dhanalakshmi Bank and various other banks. But I was able to see that this bank, means compared to those old banks, this bank is doing better than them, and still we are getting it at a much lesser price when compared to other banks of this rate. And so here it is having a very good sound as well as good business, but the non-performing asset is being little bit increased here. But they are the company, what in the previous annual report it was said by the company that they are planning to reduce this net performing assets in the coming years, and moreover they are planning to go into the side of retail sector, which is a very profitable aspect. So I am very bullish in this share at this price. Of course I am very bullish, but before coming into a conclusion, kindly do your own analysis, and then if you feel that this share is worth buying, then go ahead. Okay, if you like my YouTube channel, kindly like my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, press the bell.